Hello and welcome to this episode of the Ranting Atheist podcast. Today we'll be listening to a recording from the Clubhouse archives. This room was titled, "Do Christians Worship the Same God?" You know, Christianity is so confusing. Like, starting from the denominations, like if Catholics and Pentecostals don't fight, maybe they will focus on JWs, or they just do it. There's a lot of theological clashing. But we now ask this question on a personal level, because Christians, if you sit down with two Christians and ask them enough questions just about their God, they believe, you find out that these people are reading the same Bible, but for some reason they are worshiping two different gods with different characteristics, and sometimes clashing with each other. So we put this room in order to ask that question up for people to bring their different views and thoughts of that, and we got different takes. It was quite enjoyable, and I hope you enjoy it too. So if you are yet to subscribe, please consider subscribing on Apple, Spotify, Google, and other places podcasts are available. So now let's go and listen to the Clubhouse room that was titled, "Do Christians Worship the Same God?" Let's go. Come up. My people, come up. So Christian.
Hello, Ranting.
How you doing? Yeah.
I have a question for anyone.
Yeah.
I have a question for anyone. Sorry.
Yeah, daddy.
I have a question for anyone.
Yes, you see.
Nonsense.
Yeah, you said you're a Satanist. Please, I want to join. Please.
Oh, you want to
I want to
join?
join. Yes.
Don't worry. I'll open the first room and I will back channel you our initiation process.
Create a club, Satanism of Nigeria, something like that.
Yes.
Let Christians panic.
Yes,
I need to preach it too. You have me
Let Christians panic.
Allies. You want to make me DP? I did your back.
The ministry is moving. You see, the ministry is moving.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Lucifer. Hey, Lucifer.
I used to love your argument because it gives me joy. Like, I'm seeing my fellow anti-atheist, so it's giving me joy.
Yeah, so AY used to come with, he likes carrying a bazooka to a knife fight every time.
All the time, literally all the time. I'm always smiling. Like, if you can see my face, I'm always smiling.
Sometimes I was saying, I made a breathe small now. Without shouting.
Now, why did you ended the room now?
Almost a mental health to abeg, better protect ourselves, please. Those Christians are bastards. Yeah, so they always are. See, we'll be talking about atheism. They'll be attacking our sexuality. Can you sue me? Fucking cowards, come on the stage and say it with your full chest. Let's hammer you. But no, you're going through back time, you're going through the corners. Nonsense. May we start addressing this topic. I just want to do this room so that I can launch this club. I just created a new club, and people have surprisingly followed the club for the past 1 week, and we have not hosted a room. So make we do something at all, however long it lasts. So this thing has always been on my mind. Do Christians worship the same God? Because that room where we just came from, you saw Christians giving themselves gospels for I don't know. This is what we say God is love. This is what we say God is not love. This is what we say that's the God of the Old Testament. That one we say is Jesus. But I am my father.
Ranty, see, there's something I'll give the Hebrew Israelites on this app. They sabi their Bible.
Of course.
They will give you precept upon precept upon precept, and you're like, like
that is it Yoad or what name was that guy?
Yahuda. That guy is sabi him back.
I can't wait for John to have him on his podcast. I can't wait to listen.
Hey, now John sabi interview that, be me. I don't think I will have the patience to have a back and forth. It's John that can do that.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Well done, everybody. I just want to say I'm really, really glad to be here because I've been looking for Nigerian atheist community, and I don't know what's going
Ah,
on with me. I was just behind on everything.
you're welcome. You're
Welcome,
welcome.
I
welcome,
didn't know we
We
were
did, we
welcome.
plenty.
did.
We are plenty. Oh, we reach like 1 billion.
Ranting, initiate him. Do our
Now,
first initiation on.
Hey,
the ranting ladies are
Lucifer.
here.
Arthur,
I'm
you're
You're
I'm
welcome
happy
welcome.
to
to be
Church
here. I'm
of
happy to be
Satan
here.
at all.
Thank you very much. Let all of us be worshiping Satan together.
As a Christian, they go call the panic, say, it is watching Satan. I'm like,
Oh man.
please,
Oh,
if
all
you
of
believe,
prayer, fire.
if you believe in
Fire.
the Avengers, a business with Thanos, eh? I don't know. So Christians, do they worship the same God? Hmm? Me, I say no because I'm tired. The I learned well. What even made me to create this thing was this show. What was that show again? Or it is experience. Every time the host intervene, they always ask them, which God are you talking about? What is the characteristic of your God? Because they have realized that Christians have different iterations of the God of the Bible. If you sit down long enough with two Christians, you will find out that they are serving different gods. Yes, they are all taking it from the Bible, but they are all, the characteristics are different. This one will say love, this one will say God of fire and brimstone. Some will say they are all together. Like, I can't remember one room again where somebody actually said God is not omniscient. I'm like, what? First time of hearing that from a Christian, I'm like,
Oh, me, I don't have to. I've heard it
like,
before.
which God are we talking about? Hey, like, your God is not omniscient. I'm like, so why is he a God now? Why is he a God? What is the point of serving a God that doesn't know everything now? So it always baffles me. So now, wait, come, bless everybody here now. Where are the Christians? The Christians that even follow the rule. Christians, please come up. We come in peace, Sha. We come in peace in a way. Please come up. So any Christian on stage, you have priority. Oh. No Christian on stage. Oh yeah, Jesus Christi,
Priority.
Jesus Christ. Please,
Priority. Maybe we should pray.
Christians have priority. So it is, I will cheat you today. Sorry. But Jesus Christ, please go. Jesus.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, to the topic. um, this last room self where we just come out for, as in you see it clearly that even some Christians are having, they are not,
Civil
they are
War.
still having back and forth inside the same Christianity. Like it just look very different. Like even within Nigeria yourself, you see different type of Christianity. And different, you see Sele, you see this, you see that, and all of them, they just have different, like the way they operate in their religion. You know, everything is just totally different. This, I think, most of the arguments are within Christians, because you can, like, in let's say, most argument I've seen is not between atheist and a Christian. It's always Christian versus Christian. You go here, you are seeing two Christians doing gbas. Some will even be saying their own doctrine is the correct one. This one will say no. So inside, like in everything, if you evaluate everything and look that, you will be asking that, are these people worshiping the same God? Is it one God that is giving different way to practice this same religion that is called Christianity? Like, it's just having everything just choke. Well, I'll be back, Sha. I
Make it
just
show.
do some.
Okay. It joke, oh, because one thing I always notice, every time we are having different stages, the Christian in particular is always quick to throw every other Christian's interpretation of the same Bible away. Like those ones, they say so and so claim to be Christians, but they are not reading the Bible, or so and so they need to imbibe the Holy Spirit, or they don't get like, they are just so quick to throw every other Christian that doesn't have their same interpretation, which always like is it not the same God you people are calling, or was it different gods? When you even now
Exactly.
tell them that you're not
And
serving, they get pissed off. Sorry,
exactly.
I'm saying Kazim. Kazim, are you a
Yeah, thank you so
Christian?
much. Yeah, I want
You're
to
welcome.
I
Are
want
you
to
a
contribute.
Christian?
I'm
I,
not a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I'm something different.
You are a Satan
yeah,
worshiper.
what? What are you exactly, please?
I'm not a Satan worshiper. Normally people will categorize me as Hindu. But
Hindu.
don't believe that I'm Hindu, but because Hinduism is not even in the Vedic scripture.
It's okay.
But I
Wow.
call it a Sanatana Dharma. So I like to
Okay.
contribute to this.
Priority, yes. Okay. You believe in a God of some sort, right?
I believe in supreme God. We have one supreme God, which
Okay. Okay.
is the origin of all. He has no origin. He is the cause of all causes, and he is the supreme controller of everything. And
Wow. Oh,
not even a blade of grass can move without his sanction. He's the
Wow.
supreme
I
God.
would say the
But
same about Allah now.
Wow.
yes. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that
Yeah, you
what I'm
sound
trying to say, what I'm trying to say,
I did say.
so what
Okay,
I'm trying
sorry,
to say
ahead.
is that
Are you talking about
religion
Shiva
is about
or Vishnu? Abi Shiva.
yes.
Shiva.
You are right. I can talk about all those ones. But
Shiva. Okay.
let me contribute to
And
let me
just
contribute to
address the topic of the room, yeah,
yeah. So
from your own
what I'm trying
perspective.
to say is that religion actually is about consciousness. Religion is about consciousness. You see, like let me give example of consciousness. You see,
You are not addressing the room.
when
Oh.
somebody is
Kazim,
in a
hold
kindergarten,
on. Kazim,
yeah,
hold on. You are not addressing the
yeah.
topic. Address it as someone who is not a Christian. Do Christians worship the same God? From what do you think about that? That's what we're addressing.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. I
Okay.
have to give
Yeah.
example in a way that you can understand.
Okay. Let's see where it
Yeah, what I'm
goes.
trying to say is that okay, let me say it. Okay, worshiping if you are worshiping God as a Christian of different background, or whether it's a Catholic or Pentecostal or different kind of redeem or whatever, it's like they are of different consciousness of people. Are you getting my point? It's like somebody
Yeah.
who is going to people you are going to school. Somebody is in nursery school, nursery one, nursery two, nursery three, primary one, primary two. So you cannot say somebody who is in nursery one is not going to school. Let's say, so for example, somebody who is in primary three or primary four, because he's learning something different, will not say that somebody who is in primary one is not going to school. No, it's the level of consciousness, the level of understanding is going to be different. So actually, I don't see different in any category of Christianity or whatever. It's just that people don't understand that people level of consciousness are not going to be the same at any point of time. We are going to understand things in different level. It's just like, for example, now I may love mathematics. You may hate mathematics. Somebody may love English. Somebody will hate English. Somebody will love chemistry. So the other man we may love physics. So our consciousness
what
is
you're saying
always
is not
different.
addressing the
So what I'm trying to
No,
say
that's
is
true.
that the interpretation of whatever denomination of Christian you are talking about, why people see difference in their own religion, is the understanding of the person who is presenting it to them, the consciousness of the person who is presenting it to them. So the follower may not understand that this religion is about level of consciousness, that everything is the same, but the consciousness of the people will always be different at any point in time. That is just my own contribution. But if you want to talk something higher in other different dimension of different religion, we can.
No, we
I
are
want
not
Can
going
I
there.
can
We're
I
not
say
going.
something?
Wait,
I
hold
want
on,
to
hold on.
respond.
Okay, hold on, please. Now with what you have said, Kazim, what is happening is normal because that is human beings. We are different. We interpret different. We interpret the same thing in different ways.
Yeah,
But the problem is the specialness they apply to their book. Their book is not special. They make it seem special. They make their God seem real. Because if it's from the same source, why the confusion? Human beings can easily synchronize interpretations better than what their God is doing in this age
yeah,
and time. And their God is all powerful, all knowing, timeless. So that's what we need to point out. That it's all man-made. The human, the
Yes,
man-made element is so glaring. Their God is
behavior
man-made. Yeah,
is human nature in religion. We are talking about human nature in religion. Because whenever
religion. Wait, relax.
yeah,
Religion, yes, is a man-made concept. So is the God that's inside that religion. Some people choose to be in denial and take the God out, but the God is still all man-made. That is why interpretations always differ. That's why you see Christians, some are quick to throw away the
are you
Old
an
Testament.
atheist? Are you an atheist or you are a Christian or
I
whatever?
am the ranting atheist, so I believe that should be clear enough where I stand.
I
So
don't understand. You have to. Is it
I am an
you are starting?
atheist. Am I? I am an
Okay, you are an
atheist.
atheist. So it means that you
Yes,
don't believe in
yes.
the existence of God.
I don't believe in the existence of any God. Are you shocked?
I'm not shocked because I know that there are people like you. But for me, it's not. It's not
Majority
a
up here are atheists, bros. Majority of
no.
us here are atheists. Almost all
No,
of
but the thing I'm
You
saying is
may not know
that
Plenty
it
that. You
don't.
for
may not
here.
know that.
But the thing I'm
You may
saying
not
is
know
that it
that.
doesn't sound. It doesn't sound. I'm not surprised about it because there are people like that. But the truth that is there is that it's very difficult to deny the existence of God because why? I've never seen a plane flying before without any operator there.
wow.
No matter how
See,
This
how
is this is the 21st century, Mr.
Kazim, Kazim, everybody, hold on. Kazim,
let me come
please
down.
mute,
Let me
please
come.
mute. Everyone, please mute. Kazim,
Let
what
me
you are
come
bringing
down,
up is
please.
the. No, no, no. I won't go into that rabbit hole with you because that will take us to another. So that what you are saying is what every believer I've ever met, both Christian
No,
and
no, no. I
Muslim.
understand what you are saying. I
Relax,
understand.
relax,
It's not about
relax.
belief. It's not about belief. It's about reality. It's about practicality. I'm not talking about belief now. Belief is on another realm to make somebody believe. Now I'm trying to take this topic to a real. What we are human
We are
beings.
not going there.
We
We are not going there, Kazim. We are not going there. So I'm sorry. You
no
see,
problem. Maybe
that's another Pandora's box. There is another room.
maybe me and
Yeah,
you
follow
one day
this.
we can.
Follow the club. Yeah, follow the
Okay, I
club.
will follow the talk. Me
Yeah,
and you can enter one room and go there because I've never seen any beautiful flower without no origin or maybe
Kazi, Kazi,
Are
anything.
you a
Kazim, relax.
biologist? What's
Kazim.
your
I
own?
want
Okay, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Arthur, and Beatrice. Arthur first, then Beatrice. Yeah, you
Okay.
want to say something?
So I'm going to talk about this topic under the assumption that there's even a God in the first
No,
place.
wait. You want to? Is it you want to reply Kazim? Because like Beatrice, you want to reply Kazim, Abi?
No, okay, no, I don't want to
Sorry.
reply.
I want to do both,
to reply
but
Kazi.
if I'm not allowed,
Okay, who wants to reply Kazim? Let's just address Kazim, then we'll follow the PTR order that me I was in. Oh yeah, Ade, yeah, no.
We want to.
Ade, yeah.
Oh yeah, me. So yeah. Oh my gosh, I just lost what I wanted to say. He was. What's this? Can I come back? I just forgot what I wanted to say. I've
May the
forgotten
Lord
what he
grant you
was saying.
retentive memory in
Honest.
Jesus' name.
What the thing was saying
Amen.
about
But you're just praying for
Audio,
something to now.
audio.
All right, okay. Can you hear me though?
Okay, let audio want to reply Kazim.
Yes, I do. I want to reply, Kazim.
Okay, please do.
All right. So, Mr. Kazim, I'm a Christian, right? I'm a very
Very good. Very
spiritual
good.
person. Yeah. But this is one thing I've come to understand. Which is one thing I want to address even in the church. We're not called to. We're not called to. There's this thing. I was in a room recently where Christians came up and they were attacking the LGBTQ community. They were shocked. How is a man sleeping with a woman? We're not called to that, right? We are not. One of the natures. I don't know if you're a Christian, but I don't know. I don't want to arrive at that yet.
No, he's not.
But okay,
No,
it's
I'm
not.
not. I'm not a Christian.
Okay. Okay, so I do not know the what's it called, the dictums of your religion. But let me just speak on the side of Christianity. One of the things that Christians tend to forget is Jesus did not call you to pick sides. He didn't call you, for example, if somebody is homosexual, how does that affect your Christianity? Right? How does it affect if somebody says, "Oh, I don't believe in God," how does it affect your Christianity? Right?
there's this thing I have problems with, even as a Christian, is we wake up thinking that everybody should be like us, right? Everybody. If I believe in God, everybody else should believe in God, and that is quite ridiculous. Because the first thing Jesus calls you to is to respect humanity and human life. It's part of the commandments, is to respect humanity and human life. So if people have chosen a path, the most important thing you do is respect them. If you say you want to tell people about the existence of God and they say, I don't believe in the existence of God, that is a belief. You have to respect their belief. Right? It's also a beef I have with atheists sometimes when they say, oh, God does not exist. God does not. I mean, that's your belief, right? So someone else has a belief. God exists. The most important thing is to respect the person's belief, because everybody's on a journey of knowledge. But if we keep going back and forth, I mean, what end game, really?
Okay, Odion, can I address that? Let me address that now. What you said. Now, this is the reason why atheists will keep criticizing Christians. Christians, as you said, Christians don't like to mind their business. When I say Christians, the vast majority of Christians don't like to mind their fucking business. They always use the Bible as a sword. They use the Bible insidiously in a constitution, in secular laws. But then again, beliefs are not above questioning. They are not above ridicule. They are not above disrespect. But you, the human, you are entitled as long as you respect yourself. But if for any reason you are offended because your belief was disrespected, all it tells us is that, hey, your God is so powerless that you, the puny human, have to fight for it. That is all I see when Christians come in defense of their God. Leave us to your God. Let your God strike me dead. Let the Holy Spirit kill me the way he killed Ananias and Sapphira. Let Jesus do whatever they let him. These are powerful people as Christians believe. So let them do the work and let us, the ignorant unbelievers, not believe. But this is the key thing I want to put pass across to you, Odion. The reason why we criticize beliefs. Beliefs inform actions. Actions have consequences on the society we live in together. That is why we will not allow beliefs to go unquestioned. So if even Christians keep their beliefs in their own corner and they don't use it to disturb anybody, I think atheists will go on their merry way and mind their damn business. But the vast majority of Christians can't keep it in their pants. The Great Commission is even the thing that pushes them the most to come and be preaching on our heads and be carrying microphone up and down and disturbing the goddamn peace of everybody. So your beliefs, you say atheists don't believe in God. Well, that's another argument. You saying not believing in God is a belief. Not believing in Superman is that a belief?
No,
Or that's
It
a
is
different story
lack
on its
of
own.
belief.
no. It
So
actually logic.
it's a belief. Okay.
You
Whatever.
don't.
Everybody wants to you want something you can stab at. You are
No, I'm
blinking, so
just
what do you have to say?
Yeah, can I say
okay.
something?
So
Wait, hold on, Kazim. Odion wanted to respond to me.
okay.
Sorry.
No, I just wanted to address that. Now, there are two things. One, when I say you believe in the non-existence of something, it means that you hold a truth, right? For everybody who holds a truth, right? They believe in something. That's a belief, right? There's no need to make fuss about it. It means that if I come to you with a counter statement, you already have a statement that you will present as your own standpoint. So that is a belief, right? So if somebody asks you, do you believe that God is non-existent? You say, I believe God is non-existent. So that's by the side.
No, not
No, no,
necessarily
No,
I
actually.
lack
I know.
belief in the
That's
existence of
Yeah, it's
God.
a lack
see.
of belief.
no, no. This is
Lack,
what I'm saying.
not
Everybody
the
Okay,
just
I
opposite.
lack
everybody hold on.
This is what I'm saying.
I am Chris.
Can I say something?
Let me
Kazim,
conclude.
sorry, hold on. Okay, Odion quickly finish. Let Chris speak. Chris has been
Yeah.
blinking.
Okay, so we'll probably talk about that another time. Now, so this is the issue I have. If Christianity is on the basis of ignorance, right? Ignorance would then enforce the reasons why people are angry and talk out, blast other people. So meaning that if as an atheist you have come into some sense of logical reasoning, right? And you come before a people who you claim are ignorant, you can't be arguing with them. You can't be shouting with them. I think over time, what we've learned from the evolution of education is, if you think that the people are ignorant and they believe in something that is non-existent, and you have a higher logical reasoning, right? So the best way to address the issue is to educate them. It's not to say, oh, I don't believe in your bastard God. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Somebody in one other room was saying God does not exist, yet he was personifying God with certain adjectives, right? Like, oh, your God is foolish. Your God is, I mean, the same God you said doesn't exist. It's like me saying to people who believe in rock, right? Who believe in stones. And I say, oh, your stone is foolish. I mean, that makes me sound
It's
maniacal, because if I don't believe
sarcasm,
in it,
Odion. It's
No,
sarcasm.
it's not
no,
really.
But
so
your
this is what
but the
I don't know.
It's
stone
almost,
was
it's,
meant to say that
everybody, hold on,
very
hold on, please, hold
contextual.
on, hold on.
that is,
Odion,
The right thing.
you, Chris, sorry, I'm coming now. You're still saying the same thing, like we should kind of not be bothered about it, right?
this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that if humanity, right, is the center of everything, if you are really concerned for humanity, if it's the reason why you get mad at how Christians are manipulating certain spaces with their religion, then the most important thing is not to try to beat out people into, like, oh, I'm going to rant at you until you eventually become an atheist, or I'm going to rant at you until you have nothing to say. No, I think the point is to try to educate people. What is your own angle, right?
Okay, let me
Because
explain. Let me explain something
of
now.
everything. Yeah.
Oh,
The ranting,
now hold
can I
on,
say something?
Kazim. Not yet, Kazim. I want to just address something Odion is missing. Now, Odion, when an atheist and a Christian or Muslim, or an atheist and a believer have a back and forth, hardly have I ever seen each side convince the other. It is in my little experience, it's almost impossible for that to happen most of the time. The concern are those who are listening, who are the third party, those who are not involved. Because these are the things that when you ask the other side questions, how they respond, the person watching on the sideline, the third party, will look at it objectively or subjectively. It is never about convincing or convincing the other person. It's about making your points in respect to what that person says. So that's why I'm never bothered about saying, oh, I will never convert. That's one of the ways to educate people. Watching both sides play out the arguments. Of course, it can get heated because it gets irritating, because when you ask Christians questions, on my own personally, they will just find a way to shift the goalpost, and before you know it, you are off on another tangent inside the Pandora's box. So that is why for me, I'm speaking for myself, that's why I get pissed off at times. Do you understand me? So it is not, you will never convert, 9 out of 10 times, you will not convert, and I will never convert a believer just by arguing with them. It's about who is listening, third party, either live or some time later. That's what I've noticed from my experience. So, Kazim, quickly say what you want to say there. Chris, you speak now. Sorry.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think the topic has a little bit digressed from the
Yeah,
just
yeah.
talking about this.
Chris will bring us back. No problem.
So what I'm trying to say is that from my own research and realization, those who say that they don't believe in God, I think they have some problem with God. So the only way to fight back is to deny His existence.
Kazim.
I've
Kazim,
said
it's okay, it's okay. I
Wow.
will not. I refuse to take that bait. I refuse to take that
Wow.
bait.
Be like
and
say Kazi won't
Kazim,
fight.
I've said whatever I want to
Kazim,
say, and I will.
Kazim, it's
Kazim wants to
okay, it's
fight.
okay.
Wow.
I will not take that bait, because this will is to derail the room, and it's not. Let Chris, please.
Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Uh, I'm I'm really a gentle person. I don't really like too many arguments, like when everybody's talking, because when everybody's talking at the same time, I don't think it makes sense. Like you wouldn't hear one person. So it's always, very it's always very good for people to have turns to talk, like state their opinions and facts and whatever.
Yeah.
For us to have a serene environment, like a reasonable and polite argument. It doesn't matter what your opinion is, or at least let it be a discussion and let us just have turns. Okay. So I don't know, sorry to say, I don't know how, like, how people get comfortable with so many people talking at the same time. I don't know if you understand. Like,
No, it
Mr.
happens
Chris,
sometimes. It
to
happens
your point.
sometimes. You know,
no,
yeah,
Mr.
just
Chris,
you know,
don't
don't
say to your
worry.
point. You are wasting time by talking.
Relax,
okay, sorry.
Kazim.
So please, I want to first of all address a few things that Kazim said. Um, I would I would say Kazim was saying that he wanted to he was talking from a realistic point of view, and that's not true. But I want to challenge him to give me a time with him, maybe on a private discussion, on maybe a private room or whatsoever. Then so we can go head to head if if he doesn't mind. That's
I
one.
don't.
Then yeah. Then Ojon, I want to address a few things you said. There's something you said about anyway, you're a little bit different from the average Christian I've met. Okay, but you said something about having to let people live to what they believe. Like um, people say they don't believe in God, they should be left. Christians say they believe in God, they should be left. In a way, that's somehow contrary to what the Christian doctrine, preaches or says, because normally the idea of Christianity is worship of God and believe in Jesus Christ, and according to the Bible, the reward for being holy, which is heaven at last, and so on. And Jesus Christ instructed that the Christians are supposed to go into the world and preach the gospel. And so that's what brought about Christians trying to enforce, their belief system or doctrines on people, trying to, save them from eternal damnation and all that. So that's what gave rise to them wanting to you know, uh, teach or preach the gospel or save people and all that. So if you say there's Christians are supposed to leave others who don't believe in what they believe, and that's okay with Christianity. I mean, that's not what really they were told to do or instructed to do. I don't know if you get my point. So that's why they are also. So I wouldn't blame them. They are trying to, save others because they believe that we are actually going astray, or every other person who doesn't believe in what they believe are getting miserable. Let me use that word. Then talking about we or people who don't believe. Okay, let me be specific. Atheists who try to talk about Ranting Atheist says something that I agree with. Like he has addressed that a couple of minutes ago. He said there is atheists can actually let people live according to what they believe. But the problem we have is that belief system is very toxic and disastrous to humanity. Like it's causing a lot of havoc. It's causing a lot of misinformation. And we can't just keep quiet. We advocate for humanity, we advocate for unity, we advocate for peace, love, but this belief system, diverse belief system, it does not support that movement. That's why we are not comfortable. We want people to be good. We want people to live, the world already it has a lot of havoc, and, we are struggling, trying to help ourselves to live right and live good. So, but this belief system is causing more harm than good. That is why we're not keeping quiet, And then talking about arguing or having a debate with a Christian. The problem we also have with that is Christians or any other religious person, not just Christians, they don't argue from a realistic or or from a realistic point of view, or let me say, based on facts. They argue based on belief or hearsay. There is no single evidence whatsoever, they bring to the table. I mean, how can someone, provide or give you valid, verifiable evidence or facts, like realistic evidences, and you still stick to belief system. We should understand what belief is. The dictionary word definition for belief system is accepting an assertion. It can be an assertion. It can be a premise. It can be whatsoever without evidence. Without evidence, like in the absence
Yeah,
of
Mr.
Sorry, Chris.
Chris.
yeah.
Sorry,
Mr.
Chris.
Chris, we are supposed to be having some time because you are speaking and
Kazim, Kazim,
some.
Kazim, Kazim. Relax, relax.
Okay, let me
Now,
round up.
Chris,
Let me just round up.
round up,
Yeah,
so
let me
that
round up.
Odion will quickly reply and we move on.
Okay, let me round up. So the thing is, if we everybody can argue, like you have your own opinion, you have your own views and whatever. Yes, we all have our own truth, but there's a point I must have to make. Truth is truth. It doesn't. It's not two faced. You know,
Yeah.
anybody. Yeah, it's not two faced. One person. It can only be one person that is right. Two persons cannot be right at the same time. So it boils down to trying to ascertain who is the right person. Okay. So the thing is, as we're arguing or as we're debating or having a conversation, try to convince me with a more superior argument. And I'm open-minded. We are open-minded. We can accept, if you're able to, convince us with, facts, and that's it. And if you cannot, then that's why we are educated. We grow and we learn. If you find a particular truth or a information that contradicts what you must have been holding or you believe, I mean, that's what enlightenment or growth is all about. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chris. So,
Can I
Odion, quickly reply.
quickly
1
say
minute.
something?
No, Kazim, no.
Okay. All right. So let
1
me do
minute,
this
please,
very quickly.
quickly. Yeah.
My point is this. I wanted to speak to Chris. Thank you so much for what you said.
Right.
I'm a Christian, right? And I came into Christianity. I used to be an atheist, right? When I was even in church, there were so many things that were just wrong. And the traditional Christians in my church ignored it. So that was when I was an atheist. Now, the reason I became a Christian wasn't because I saw facts or someone explains facts to me. I've never been bothered about facts. Everything can explain itself. What I was bothered about were the things that cannot explain themselves. For example, what created us. I was always curious about that, right? And
Okay,
everybody's
so
like,
can I quickly ask you, have you been able to figure out, as
No,
now that you're a Christian,
Chris,
what?
Chris,
okay,
Chris, let him go.
okay,
Chris, we will extend
let me
it.
see.
Chris, let him
I will
just.
talk about that later.
Okay,
Okay, I'll talk about that later. So
okay.
that's how I became, right. It was me saying I wanted an explanation to things that even scientists could not give reason to. And yes, like you asked, but I'm not going to stress on that now. Maybe probably later. I was able to find a connection to that and Christianity. And eventually, when I became a Christian, I began to study Christ and spirituality, and I realized the essence of life from that, right? But this is one thing I wanted to address. I'm not saying that as a Christian, leave other people to their belief, right? As you said, the Great Commission said, go into the world and preach the gospel. That is, of course, what we believe, and I'm an evangelist. What I'm saying is this, it's the same thing Jesus taught, if you have read the Bible before. He said, if you go into a house and they say, oh, I'm sorry, we do not want to hear your Christianity, you're not supposed to enforce your Christianity on other people. Because if you do that, then you are a member of the law. And Jesus Christ, I have come to redeem you from the shackles of the law. Right? So one of the key things of Christianity isn't to push your message, because if it truly is spiritual, then I don't need to stress you now. I'm not because the entire thing is spiritual. I'm not supposed to force you to believe in Christ. The Spirit will do that, right? It was so spiritual at one point. The eunuch of Ethiopia was the one who came to Philip with curious questions. It wasn't Philip who went to him and said, you must be born again by all means. So that is what I'm trying to address. And that's one thing that pisses me off, even with so many people that say they are Christians, because the true Christian understands this. If you do not understand the Bible, if you're not even willing to learn, you can't say you're a Christian. Right? There are many people who go to church that are not Christians. So I hope you get to know that sometime. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
Okay.
that you have a belief. I have a belief. As a Christian, yes, I'm supposed to tell you about Christ. But if you don't want to hear, I'm not supposed to stress you. Thank
All right, so Chris, no follow up. Sorry about that. Kazim, no. Odion, I just want to state that you just did the same thing that a lot of Christians do. You threw every other person's interpretation of the word of God under the bus.
Oh no,
You
no.
for some inexplicable reason. Yes, what you did, you may not be aware. I just needed to point that out to you. You said a true Christian will not do this, do that. You did that. So Chris, Odion,
Let
we
me
have closed your
respond.
Point it.
chapter.
Whatever I said, please point it.
Kazim, no sure.
Let me quickly
No,
respond to what
it's,
Mr.
no, no, Kazim, no,
I like to walk up.
no.
Not
No,
argument.
no,
No,
he
no,
can talk.
just
He can.
Kazim, no.
Let him,
Kazim, no.
he can just give
No.
him a little time to address
You want to respond to you?
Mr.
Okay,
The
to Chris,
ranting.
we
You
are
don't
respond.
want me to talk.
Yes, I don't want you to talk because you will drop bomb and take us on
no. Let
another.
him say whatever. I
No,
mean,
no, no, no,
that's why
no,
we're
no.
saying
Andrew,
can
Andrew, I can
always
see
let
you. Andrew, I can see you. No problem.
There's some points I just want to make, please.
El Shaddai, I
go
can see
ahead.
you.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Oh yeah, Kazim,
Go
go
ahead, Percy.
Okay, thank you very much. So, regarding what
quickly,
Mr. Chris
please.
said,
Quickly, 1 minute, 1 minute.
1 minute is okay for me. Based on what Mr. Chris said, and he was talking about the belief, and nobody can give a like kind of a practical reason or kind of a concrete reason of about the existence of God and all the rest. But what the one point I want to make is that I'm not arguing. Just we have to make our own point. So one point I want to make is that there are some knowledge in life that we don't need to pass through scientific knowledge for us to acquire this knowledge. For example, if I want to know about my father,
Bukola, sorry, calm down.
Let
if
him
I want
finish.
to know
Go
about
ahead.
my father, I cannot go on the street and start asking, who is my father? The best way to know about my father is to go to my mother. So similarly,
Your mother
if I
can lie
want to
to you.
know if I want to know about God,
Your mother
if I
can
want to
lie
know
to
about
you.
I
What if your
cannot
mother does
I
not?
cannot
Chris, let
use
him
my
land.
own
Chris, let him land.
mental
Chris, let him
I
land.
cannot
Sorry.
use my mental gymnastic to know because it will be very, very unrealistic. Just like if I want to know about my father, I cannot go on the street and be asking, are you my father? Who is my father? The best way to acquire that knowledge is to go to your mother, who is my father? And your mother will give you knowledge. And you cannot
What
debate
if your mother was
Sorry, I differ.
like
you
seriously?
cannot
How
Your,
is she
mo-
going to know
your
the
mother
father?
can lie to
argue that.
you.
Wait,
You
let him
cannot
link the
argue that.
analogy to. Wait, Chris, let him link his analogy to
No,
his
it doesn't
response. Oh yeah,
just
link
add
the
up.
analogy.
It
So
doesn't just add up.
Let
what
us
I'm
see
trying to
where
say
it's.
is that what
And
I'm
let
trying to
us see
say
where
is
it's going.
well, what I'm trying to say is that you cannot start making an experiment about how to know your father. You just go straight to your mother. You save you time, energy, and so many stress. You go to your mother, who is my father, and if you once your mother tell you this is your father, you follow. It's as simple as that. So similarly, also when we want
What,
to know
what if
about
your
God,
what if your mother
also
What
lies
if
to
the
you?
mother
when we
doesn't
want
know
to
the
know about God,
father?
What if she
what,
lies to you?
What if the mother doesn't
what
even
you
know
say? What?
who got her
Let
pregnant?
him link the analogy. That's what me I want to see.
Let me
Chris,
land.
hold on,
Let her
let's
land before
patient.
I bury me in a beg.
Oh yeah, lad.
So what I'm trying to say is that no, in a realistic state, all this other argument about what about the mother doesn't know the father. No, we know that only
If
the mother knows. No,
Bukola,
wait
we know
now.
now. Just let him
Sorry,
land.
bro. Are
Let's
you
see.
Nigerian? Sorry to ask. Are you
Nicola,
Nigerian?
He is
allow
now.
Karim to
Kazim
speak.
Busari. He is.
Yeah, I mean,
From,
so what I'm
from
trying
the,
to say in essence is that knowledge about God, as a woman being, we have 4 defects: tendency to make mistake, tendency to be illusion, imperfect senses, and tendency to cheat others. With these 4 imperfection, we cannot acquire the absolute knowledge about the supreme personality, the supreme
Kazim,
God.
you are doing something that I don't like. Link your analogy to your answer.
So
I've not seen the
the
linkage.
analogy, just to respond to Mr. Chris, what I'm saying is that the analogy, the way I want to link the analogy is that he said that there is no practical knowledge about how to know or believe about God. I'm saying that there are knowledge that you don't need to make experiment to acquire, and that is regarding to God. You just have to follow the authority in the holy scriptures, and that is the only way to know who is your father. It's as simple as that.
okay,
Kazim. Okay,
I
thank
agree with
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Chris,
brother. I agree with you.
just let it rest. It's It's
Just
okay.
please answer my beg now. Maybe now.
It's
I don't want to.
it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. That's why I said authority of
Abeg, we
text.
have
It's
It's
not a
a
waste of
fun.
time.
Not
We're
waste of
It's
learning.
time.
a,
It's
We're
not
learning.
waste of
We're
let's
learning.
enjoy
time. It's
ourselves.
not waste of
It's
time.
not a waste of time. We're learning.
no, some people have not spoken. That is why me, I'm just bothered.
Okay, I
It's
wouldn't
not a
waste
big
time. I
deal.
won't
Yeah,
waste
some people
time. I
have not.
wouldn't
Oh
waste time.
yeah.
Just maybe 30
Mm-hmm.
seconds.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah.
So I will just address two things you said, and that's all. Whether you agree or not, it doesn't make any difference. But that's just, first of all, about your mom. Your mom, there is a very high probability that your mom is not the right source. In fact, to tell you who your dad is, your mom can lie. There is also a possibility that your mom doesn't know your mom. She could have slept with maybe 3 or 4 men at different times, and it's just going to be one sperm that can, fertilize her. And there's four out of one out of the four persons must be the dad. Four of them cannot be your dad. If she doesn't know the particular person, she's just guessing it could be A or B or C, and it happens that it's D, then she would misinform you. So she's not the right source. The only thing that can guarantee you the right information you want with respect to who your dad is science,
DNA,
scientific
bro.
experiment, DNA, scientific experiment. That's just the ultimate, guarantor or whatever. That's that. Then I think that's what I want to respond to.
Okay. Okay. All
Then,
right.
okay,
So
talking about the ultimate creator, same thing you said. They're all almost the same thing. You said that we just have to go to
Please, sorry, you have to
the
round up. Other people want to.
scripture, or the ultimate scripture, or what? What do you call it?
that
Scripture.
one's a waste of time. It is follow the scripture and
Yeah, it could
obey.
have been
Don't
written
complain.
by. Yeah, it could have been written by one, high, ignorant, psychiatric somebody, that just woke up from one dream and wrote something and then dropped it out for me to read. I mean, I can't bank on that.
Thank you, Mr. Chris. Can I respond
Okay.
quickly?
No, you
No,
can't. You
Kazim, you
can't.
can't
Kazim
respond.
is
I'm
done.
Can't
sorry.
let
You
Uche,
had
let
your
it.
stage.
let's move.
You had
You have your
the
private
next person
chat
to
with Chris.
speak.
Yeah, we can have
Is
a
it Andrew or El
The
Shaddai?
next
Mr. Chris, can we go inside a room?
Andrew. After Andrew is
yeah, later
El
after
Shaddai.
here. After here.
Okay, everyone should please mute their mic. The next person is Andrew. After Andrew is El Shaddai. It's L, sorry,
So,
and Beatrice.
Andrew. So, Andrew, please
Yeah, good
address the
evening,
topic of
everyone.
the room. I know you. Good evening, Andrew. I know you might want to address some of these people. As just assume they didn't say anything. Just
Okay,
address the topic of the room so that we
very
don't
well,
end.
very well.
Mm.
That's what I have in mind.
All right.
This should be a continuation of the previous room because I've listened
Well,
to so many ideologies, and there was one that really captivated my mind. And I've listened to Chris, I've listened to people here, and I don't know if I'll have the time to just lay out all that have in my mind. Firstly, I would like to say that the Supreme God created us as gods. We make life, we can take life, and we are not products. So if you ever see yourself to be a product, then you see yourself to be less of a God, and that is it. We're never products. We are God. We have choices.
you are not addressing the topic of the room.
I know that I'm addressing one of the ideology I got from the previous room.
That's why I said you should just pretend like they didn't say what's there because if you start
Oh,
addressing them, they want to respond and we are back to the same loop.
I'm
And
sorry.
people that have not spoken will never
But
speak.
I only have a response to what Chris said on this room.
So you have not to say about the room, the topic of the room.
Yes, I have nothing.
All right. So thank you. Let's try. Who's the next person,
Person.
please?
Can I say something?
Also, you can say something.
Who's next?
Can I go?
Can I
L.
can I say about the topic though?
Okay, guys. Seriously, like, I'm not a Christian. I'm not religious. I'm neither an atheist. I'm just a seeker of truth, to be sincere. So I was really not going to talk about it because I really don't know about these people, the kind of God they serve. But I just want to say something about when Kazim asked, what was the question? I said he didn't want to take the bait. Like some people have problem with God. So I wanted to take that bait. And it's not that I'm taking the bait like a fool, but if only he
No,
can
no,
give me a
no. Don't. I refuse to
Let
for
me
you to
just
take it. It will derail the room.
okay,
There's a
okay,
reason.
okay. Yes, it's just
I'm
a question.
exhausted with addressing that. It's a
No, It, it
it's
seemed
how do
to,
I put it now?
he seemed to have all the answers. So I just want to pick his brain a little, please.
No, 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 no,
Uh,
no, 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 no. It will derail the
It's
room.
good.
I know why I
No, let him
avoided
speak.
it.
I don't need to respond. Let him speak. I don't.
okay. He don't have to respond, but I want him to take this home and think about it. It's not that
Okay.
it's not that I have a problem with God, right? But I really want to know God. But just that then I went through Christianity and then I began to find questions upon question that has no answer and contradictions. First, I start with my own creation. The Bible said God created man.
Mm.
If God created man, first question, what was the race he
Beyond
created?
our understanding, basically, beyond our understanding.
Yes.
Infinite understanding.
Andrew, chill.
Okay. What's the first race he created? That's one. Let's leave that aside. So the word, the all, what's it called again? The perfect being, the all knowing, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Like he knows everything, right? And he's immune to mistake. So as long as he created the Lucifer, the devil, that alone contradicts the whole idea of the whole perfect being. That God you're talking about does not deserve that title because it's either he made a mistake by creating the devil or he never knew, meaning it contradicts the title Alpha and Omega. So it's either he
That
made a mistake or he's not an Alpha and Omega. That two can never work. So unless God is willing to say, I made a mistake
the
by
devil
creating
is just a
Lucifer for
tool.
not knowing that he's going to end up and backstab me or try to take over my throne. That's
Mm.
the
The
thing I
devil was
don't
just
do.
a tool. That's how I see it.
Andrew, I will move you to the
It's
audience if
nothing.
you do.
You see
Andrew,
how this you see how the all perfect being contradicts the whole idea of not making mistakes. So he has to pick one. Is either he made a mistake
It was not a
or he's
mistake.
not.
It was just a tool.
So that means he purposely did it, which says God is not holy. If he purposely did it, that means God is not holy, meaning he did it to make the devil exist and cause evil, meaning God is evil. So which one is he going to pick? He cannot be
And
all
is responsible for all our
exactly. So
this.
he cannot
okay.
be all holy. He cannot be all perfect being. You see, he cannot be all holy and Alpha and Omega, and the devil exists. So he has to pick one of the titles and leave the rest. And
The
if I
problem
believe
is
like
he cannot choose. He cannot choose. It's Christians that will choose for him.
So that's the thing, Kazim. So yeah, not like I have a problem with that God you're talking about because there are lots of mistake there. Now, number two question: God created man, right? Now, let me ask you a question. If you see somebody walking around naked, you will call that person crazy. So the devil came and gave us the knowledge. So why are we not appreciating somebody, a being that gave us knowledge? Instead, we are
Yeah.
serving a being that denied us of the knowledge, and instead, in turn, punished us for attaining knowledge. The knowledge
Oh
now
yeah,
that
it's okay. We are going far.
It's
It's
okay. It's
okay.
okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
See,
Honorable
look,
Minister, it's okay.
it's okay. Off your mic. Off your mic. All right. All right. Thank you for listening to this episode. Kindly subscribe up Apple, Spotify, Google, other places you get podcasts from. You want to link up with me on Clubhouse? The links are in the show notes below. Anyway, have a great week, and I will catch you on the next one.